Hey guys, and welcome back. So I'm sure you've seen in the title, this is basically me explaining all things Saint of the Sinners, or at least what I can remember, because I wrote this song when I was 21. So a lot has happened since then. That's a long time. Anyway, let's jump into it. I'm going to explain to you everything, the writing process, why I did things, certain signs, all the fun stuff. I've got some notes on my phone because I'm not a genius. And also, this is going to be maybe a long video with very little cuts because it's 2019. So enjoy me for my mistakes and all. All right. So like I said, wrote the song when I was 21. I wrote it with a group of guys called Alchemy that I'd never ever met before in my life. But it was arranged by, you know that thing where you're like, I'll let my people talk to your people kind of vibes. So my management, their management set it up. Before I did it, I was like, oh, like we'll have a Skype. And we did. But I Skyped Brad, one of the guys from Alchemy. And it was one of the most bizarre experiences ever. I'd never just like Skyped someone before a session, but it just seemed appropriate because at that point I decided the concept of the record and I felt like I needed to just prepare him for what was coming. I even sent over a mood board of songs that I wanted it to potentially sound like, and big long process. I was making things really complicated. Who says you just turn up and just do what comes to the top of your head? Not me, not this gal, not this concept record. So to get there, they're in Guildford. So for me, at the time, I was living in Hartford. That was my mattress on the floor days. What a time to be alive. And it took me over 3 hours to get there. But at the time, I was like just excited, just pumped to be writing. So I was like, oh yeah, fine. And also, even to this day, if you put me on a train and you give me some headphones and say, just sit there, I'm like, sweet. Fine. So got there, and it was just one of those bizarre moments that you only really get in this job, where stood outside a train station, get in a car with 3 lads you've never met before in your whole life and go with it. So we did, and it was great because 2 of the guys are brothers and they are hilarious. So I just remember feeding off their energy, just being like a kid on Christmas. So it was really really good fun. Let me just look at my notes. This was the first song I'd ever done with them, obviously, and I at the time, like I said, I wasn't just turning up to sessions. There was no such thing. I was like completely over prepared for everything because I was taking this record so gosh darn serious. So if you've seen my Instagram, you'll see that I just carry around these big lyric books. They're big leather bound journals. They look like they're out of Harry Potter. And at the time, I took like my favorite ones, you know, like the ones that I knew had some heavy hearted content in them to fuel songs. So I would say probably about 15 lyric books with me. And I also, in the middle of one of the books, had a dictionary of words that were, like, I literally hand wrote this down, a bunch of words that I liked that were in Christianity. So like you'll hear that throughout the album and things, like there's a lot of religious influence. I mean, that album's called Confessional, you know what I'm saying? So like there was a whole 4 pages of words that I liked that I wanted to include. And taking that, the books, and then I also had a list of potential track names. So this is basically, you know, when you're like sat in the living room in your pajamas and you're like, oh, fun idea, and I didn't write it down. I'm a modern gal. I have a phone. I just put them in my phone. So I had a list of potential track names as well. So I turned up that day and I was like, right, today is a track name type of day. So the song started off because I'd already written down Saint of the Sinners as a potential song. And I just really, really wanted it to be that. So it was. And we just worked around it. Those kind of sessions kind of always go the same. It's like they play a few chords, I vibe off it or I don't vibe off it. It's like, oh, that's cool. Not really what I'm going for. Blah, blah, blah. Until you land on the perfect sequence of chords. And then you work forward. And then lyrics are kind of my jam. That's where like I get really excited, lyrics and melody. Because like for me, I'm obviously trying to get my message across, especially with this concept. Only I really know the true meanings of the song. So it's very hard for people to like come on that wave. However, I am always the type of person who's like, if this is terrible, just say, because I'd rather you say than me get to the end of the day thinking I'm the lad, having had no amendments to my lyrics, and then, you know, play it to someone like a member of my team and them go, who let you run riot in the lyric department? Anyway, really good fun. The guys were great. The song, when we wrote it, like Brad produced it to the sound of what was in the charts at the time, which was really fun for me because if you listen to my music, I've never really been like on trend sonically. Everything is the way it's supposed to be in my head. It's just like, you know, not contemporary sounds or anything like that. It's all classic instruments, like things that if you hear it now, you wouldn't know if it was recorded like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It should basically hold the same. And that is literally because I'm an independent artist. I can't be making like a on top of the pops kind of sound of a song, because by the time I would get around to like funding it, putting it out, the sound's gone and then I'm not cool. So but at the time it was what was cool, so I thought it was really fun, and it was actually kind of inspiring to like write to that style because I'd never done it before. So when I wrote it, I loved it. And then it's always that thing of like playing it to people and hearing what they have to think about it, because everybody in my life is, I've told them like, you can't lie to me. Like if I play a song, you have to tell me whether or not it's good, or just don't lie to me basically. And everybody I played it to was like, bop, proper bop. So that was nice because I was like, I love this song. But it happens a lot. You write a song and you're like, I love it, it's the best thing ever. Then you play it to people and they're like, this is what? What is this? But it was nice to have that reassurance that it was good. However, no. So I left that session and we wrote together a few more times and it was all good, all great. I was doing a gig, I think it was Christmas time, and it was St. Pancras. I was very excited. I had a whole band. It was amazing. Not just like me and one or two musicians, all the crew. So I was like, going to make the most of this. Going to do a wee playing of a song that nobody's heard from the new record. I was sat there with producer Graham, who produced Running with Scissors, and was like, right, we'll strip it all down. We'll take it apart. Cool. Did she work? No. What I realised was a lot of like the hooks were in the production and not so much in, like, a lot of the song is still the same, because basically what I'm getting to is I had to rewrite the song because when we stripped it all out, it just wasn't working. It wasn't going. And that for me was, such a painful moment. I can't explain that. You're so proud of this little song, baby. And at the time I was like, this is going to be a single. And you're so proud of it. And then you dismantle it and it's like, oh wait, no. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Is it salvageable is the real question. So I remember like just panicking, sheer panic. At the time then, I had found my producer, which is Jonathan. I remember the song coming up and I was just like, I really love this song and I really want it to be on the album. And I explained my issue with when I dismantled it. It wasn't really a strong enough song at the core, because I have a rule that a great song, and I think most people would agree, like a great song is a great song when you can strip it all out, play it in an instrument and just do like sing it with one instrument and it's a great song. And it didn't work like that. So that meant me and Jonathan then took what I'd written with Alchemy, stripped it down to the piano and just tried to make it work. Holy cowbells. So I got in at the start of a day. It was like autumn and nice, but holy cow. By the end of the day, it was dark and we'd been in that room for, oh God, too long. Way too many hours. Both of us just trying to figure out what the frick frack we were going to do with this track and getting nowhere. And I literally remember being sat there on the sofa and like, bear in mind it was lovely and ambient, like he has so many fairy lights, it's a lovely studio, it was dark outside but still dry, and I'm looking out the window and I'm like, if I was to jump out that, would I break my legs or would I die? Just like, I'm not a good songwriter at all. I shouldn't be here. I don't belong in the music industry. I can't even write a song. Dilemma. Absolute dilemma. And we got there in the end. Don't worry. Fix the chorus. I think it was whenever I started singing a melody of what I thought that the chorus could then be, that like both myself and Jonathan's eyes lit up, that we were like, oh, we might be onto something. But I mean, we tried everything, absolutely everything, to make it work. And it was just, that beautiful moment of just one thing setting off a domino effect, and just everything is solvable and fixable. Middle 8, super easy to write. I copped out on the original version. I just did a bunch of oohs to the same chords, because it was like dance poppy, you listen to a playlist of 2016, it's that vibe. So I definitely cheated, so I ended up having to write one, which was fun. If you listen to the middle 8 now, the lyric part of the middle 8, not the violin bit, there's a My Chemical Romance throwback in there. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm just hoping that if you listen to My Chemical Romance, you'll get that joke, because it was like, this is such a sad and angsty teen song, because it's about my teenage years as well. So it's like, what was I angry about in my teens? Everything. What did I listen to? My Chemical Romance. So I chucked in a wee reference, so that was good fun. But that moment of, just, it's fine, I got this. And then you jump into production mode. Like, what am I going to do to this track now that's going to make this, I don't know, have its own like wee sonic footprint. Again, the beauty of being a concept record, it means that, like, if I wanted it to be a big pop song, it could have been a big pop song. Like, that's fine. Using contemporary sounds and all that malarkey. Didn't want it to be, because I wanted it to be really sad, basically. And for me, I just sat and I thought, like, what is the saddest thing for me? And it was a solo violin. For me, that is like ultimate, like, sad vibes, is like a solo sad violin. When I got to grips more with the actual sonic palette of the record is whenever I added a low whistle to that sad slow violin. Funny enough, it was a whistle from a fan called Joseph, who gave it to me in America. It's my producer playing it, don't worry, not me. You put a red light on me, the record button, whenever I'm holding a tin whistle or a low whistle, and I can't do it, so I got Jonathan to. So that adds to that, and like, the sound of it. But speaking of the fiddle, let's not skip over that, shall we? Because I can't explain this. How do I explain this? Like, me and Jonathan just did a piano for that song. I walked away going, hallelujah, I fixed it, it's fine, but still doesn't mean it's a good song, you know what I'm saying? So he assured me, I'm going to go and I'm going to work on this, and I'll send it over to you as soon as I can. And I think like a few days had passed, and then I get an email from him, and I'm like, I think it had fiddle in the title of the email, and I was like, oh, what are you talking? Oh, he did it. He's added some violin in there. Oh, what a lad. And wow, were my socks completely blown off. Abso-freaking-lutely. From how I felt in that studio where I was literally contemplating my own demise to hearing the violin in this track, oh my God, polar opposites. Can't believe it. I was so freaking pumped. I wanted to play it to everybody, all my friends, everyone had heard it, my family, everybody, because I was like, listen to this. Anna Phoebe just ball out of the park, right? Like, because Jonathan sent her that track and was like, hey, do your thing. Anna Phoebe, by the way, we did the Mahogany cover session together. She does that amazing fiddle on that track as well, so you'll know her. Well, she just like went out to her wee home studio, layered everything up, sent everything over to him. He whacked it in and sent it over to me, and I was just like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And made sure that he passed on my regards on that, and that's why we've worked together with her since, because she's just, I just couldn't believe it. She definitely gave that song a stamp, and the notes that I had sent over in regards to what I wanted to come across in an instrumental was just, I wanted it to reflect or be representative of the sheer inner turmoil, which I'll get into now. I'll tell you a bit more about the track and its meaning now that we've gone over that. The whole idea is basically just depression. I think maybe it's just me, I don't know, I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone, but depression, that's not my jam. So I'll start speaking from the me, not the we. When I have depression, or I'm in an episode or whatever, I become a different person, and that's fine, whatever. But that means when I come out of my depressive episode and I'm back to being me, it's very hard not to be angry at your past self, because when you're depressed, and especially if you've got anxiety and depression, that's the best combo, because it's I don't want to do anything, and then you've got anxiety saying, yeah, oh, but now that you're not doing anything, you're not worthwhile, and blah blah blah, and it's just a horrible combo. So I ended up sometimes doing things or not doing things is just as deleterious, I suppose, because depression sometimes can stop you from doing things, or it makes you do stupid things. So the frustration, it sounds like I'm singing about someone else, and that's the point. I want people to take on the song and think about that person that they're really angry with. But for me, it was me being angry at my past self for holding me back. There was times I didn't turn up to sessions. I was just in such a broken place, and some of the song is based around me when I was about 13, 14, and it was affecting me schoolwork. I was really struggling just to do the things I was supposed to do. Everything felt like Everest, and I missed out on some really cool opportunities because of that, and I did some dumb stuff. I mean, it's just and I was angry, and I still am. And I know we're living in 2019 where we're gotta love yourself no matter what, your ups, your downs. If you don't love me at this, then you don't deserve me at that. All that kind of stuff doesn't really take away from the fact that you're still allowed to be mad at yourself, and I really was. In the chorus of this song, so it's the verses being oh God, I've done it again. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Blah. Just why can't I just do the things I'm supposed to do? This is it. I'm a human being. Here's a task. Fulfill it. I can't. And I suppose with the stupid things, the maybe the bad things you do when you're depressed, the chorus is that ownership of it. It's all right, well, if I'm going to be a bad person, I'm going to be the best of a bad bunch, and I'm going to be the saint of the sinners. So this is what the idea is. It's this ownership of being a terrible person in your own eyes. My own eyes, I felt like I was a terrible person because at the time I was letting so many people down from not being able to just get out of bed. So to be the saint of the sinners, I was being the best of a bad bunch. And then again, there's supposed to be the wee contradictions in all of the lyrics, empty lungs, but I'm lying again. I'm apologizing, but I'm lying because I'm not actually sorry, which is terrible. But I even at that time, I knew it was out of my control. And I wanted the middle eight to have a little bit of hope, the lyric bit of the middle eight, I am more than, this little bit of hope that is, okay, I'm depressed as heck, but I'm still a human being. I still deserve to live, and all that kind of stuff. I am worthy. I am all right. I am more than this. But again, just to slap you back into the real world is that violin solo, just to be just bring back that point of being two people, two minds colliding. It's oh, here's this happy side, but no. The world doesn't work like that. Here we go, and back to that ownership again at the end, just being I'm the saint of the sinners. And also as well, when it came to the whole saint of the sinners thing, I was nobody sees me as a badass. Don't know if I can say the word ass on YouTube, but I've at times when I was maybe doing questionable things, you're oh, I'm so badass, but it's not really at all. By the way, I'm just checking my notes here. How's your day going? Oh, that's just a random one there. The song, yeah, the original song, the original demo version, took 2 hours to write. And then the other version took a day. But, I mean, I've literally, not to blow my own trumpet here, but like I've smashed this. I managed to remember all of the things I wrote down. Very proud of that. So if you've made it this far in my waffle, thank you, firstly. Secondly, have you bought the song? Because that's the real question. If you want to be a real goat, and by goat I mean greatest of all time, then do me the biggest solid ever. And I'm assuming nobody will really watch it this far, so no one will get me in trouble for saying this. The best place to buy it, is the best thing to do is to buy it. So be that iTunes, Amazon, on my web store, any of those places to buy it and then stream it, double whammy. So it means you own it, but if you're going to listen to it, go out and stream it as well there. That would be super cool. On the last song, I did manage to get to number 3 in the charts, and the physical charts to be specific. Dear God. Whew. And do you know what? I'm getting greedy. It went to my head a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And now I want more. I want more of that. I want to see if I can get to number 1 in the physical chart. So if you're watching this, it'd mean the whole gosh darn world if you could go to my website and actually buy the physical of it so that I can up my chances of saying I have a number 1. Thank you. It'd be really cool. So yeah, I'm being greedy. I know I am, but it'll be worth it. Can you imagine how many things I can brag to important people about, going into meetings and stuff like, oh yeah, Saz, as number 1 in the physical chart. And they'll be like, physical chart? And I'm like, yeah, I got cool fans who still buy physicals, actual music lovers. But again, don't forget to stream it as well so that I can be down with the kids, getting a few playlists maybe. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling and just say a massive thank you to all of the support in the last song. Hopefully on this song, because by the time this comes out, it'll be out. And how's that going? Let me know. I hope it's going well. And I'm going to film the music video next week. And I'm not prepared, but we'll get there. So if you've seen it, I hope it was great. Hopefully future Janet likes it. Sup. And on that note, I hope you're having a happy day. The world is treating you the way you deserve. All right. Bye, my single.